me get another sip. I'm sorry. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this does not work without you guys. So, let's get open for business here. And let's wake up the football guys. Wake up this morning, guys. You know what? I'm going to start this morning off with a little video from TC that was shared to me by my man Omar. Let's watch this. Let's watch this right here. All right, man. This is what it's about. You don't. I'm sorry. I'm almost giggly this morning. I got chills right now. The fact that we are at least now talking about guys on the field of practice, getting close to the field of battle as we sit 49 days, 10 hours, and 23 minutes away from kickoff of the 2020 season. And Lord knows, we want to get rid of that 2020. Oh my God, that 2020 has been a mother humper. But we now have our rookies signed, sealed, delivered, and in the star for the first time. You don't seem to understand this. They are beginning the process of getting ready for a season that is under 2 months away. 49 days, guys. 49 days. We'll be taking on the Rams. And this preseason is going to be really no preseason. There's no preseason games. This is going to be literally craziness. We still don't know what players are going to be on the field. We're hearing that Dalvin Cook hasn't talked to Mike Zimmer, who's gotten an extension and things. We know that Russell Wilson has some concerns about the coronavirus, although he's happy about getting Jamal Adams. He's happy about that. That defense is there stepping up. And you're seeing teams that are making moves. The Bears trading the tight end to Miami and so on. And there's, of course, free agents that are out there. And, of course, we now have all of our rookies that are signed. The funny thing is and I get so many trolls and haters and stuff like that, and people that are looking to try and keep this man down. But I'm going to tell you, I'm old. I'm old, okay? But if you think that I'm weak or that you think that you can beat me down, dog, no. You're talking about a guy who my wife has said, I will literally talk to a brick wall, and you will literally make that brick wall walk away. I'm just saying. My wife has actually said that stuff. So you can't wear me out. I'm going to tell you, just like Tyron Crawford's putting in the work, I put in the work. But some of these trolls keep saying that, the Cowboys didn't make that move for Jamal Adams because they know they're going to be a top 10 pick the next couple of years because they're bad. And I keep seeing this thing where people keep saying they're just at 8-18. And I'm sitting here thinking, it reminds me of something. See, my philosophy is if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. You can't do what you did before and think that you're still going to get better. You don't. Because here's the thing. What you did last year, last week, or whatever, people have watched, people have analyzed, people have learned. And people will figure out what you're doing, and they'll figure out how to do it better. And a lot of times how to do it better for less. Or to even make it much improved. to steal what you did, to take your idea and improve on it. And so if you are not changing and evolving, then you're getting worse. There's many companies out there that were thought to be the biggest company in the world that we don't have to change anything. We are American Motor Corporation. Shit. American Corporation, they got bought out by Chrysler and basically left to the wayside. Tesla. Who? Is probably what they were saying back then. Who? Tesla? We ain't gonna worry about no Tesla. Well, things evolve, things change. And if you are not ready to evolve and change with the dynamics that are out there, you will die. I'll give you a great example of somebody who changed what they were doing. You all know who Kaiser Permanente is, right? Kaiser, yeah, healthcare, right? One of the biggest ones in the country. You know what Kaiser originally started out as? Liberty ships. Kaiser built ships to go across to Europe. They could literally pop out a ship every day and a half because they were getting sunk by the German U-boats. So we needed to have them coming out like crazy. They built them cheap. They built them basically, if you get 2 trips back and forth, then it's gone beyond its life ability. Kaiser was pumping these mother humpers out. And the thing Kaiser had was they took good care of their employees because they were working so hard. They had health care. Well, the war ended. The dynamics changed. You don't need these cheap-ass ships that keep sinking. But what evolved and what survived was Kaiser Permanente Healthcare. They changed, they evolved, they grew. And that's why they're still here today. When I grew up, Xerox, the company, literally, when you needed a copy of something, you just say, go Xerox it. Xerox. The company became an actual function. Xerox, man. Oh, man, I need some Xeroxes. And well, I need a copy of this shit. You didn't say copy, you said Xerox. Where's Xerox today? Ain't nobody copying stuff anymore. We're copiers. Yeah, you'll print out pictures. You'll print out a hard, piece of paper from time to time because you need an actual signature, but everything's done electronically. Things change and evolve. And see, this has been the problem with the Dallas Cowboys in the past. In the past, we've looked and said, oh, man, we got good players here and all that. If we just add a piece or two here, we're going to be good. And after the 2016 season, when the Dallas offensive line was rolling, you got a young Zeke Elliott, and, you had a quarterback, who nobody really knew much about. The Cowboys went in there and said, we can just run over people. We don't need to change. We don't need to evolve. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's where Scott Linehan literally didn't change anything. Defensive coordinators figured out how to stop the Cowboys because they didn't change. And if you think I'm wrong, just go back to All or Nothing. When they talk about the Denver game, I have never in my life seen coaches so bewildered and not able to understand what to do. When they were up in the press box and Denver had literally shut down Zeke Elliott to only a couple of yards, the coaches were like in panic mode. They're stopping Zeke. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Because that worked before. They didn't evolve. They didn't change. They didn't come up with a new plan. Everybody else figured out what you're going to do. Herein lies why I look at the season and say 8-8 if we have 16 full games. The Cowboys have definitely changed a lot of things. They changed head coaches. They could have stuck with Randall Cobb, but instead They got lucky and got CeeDee Lamb, and hopefully, and there's no guarantees on anybody that's drafted, hopefully he'll be the real deal, and he'll bring a whole new dimension to the team. You look at our defense where we had Rod Marnelli, who, over the course of time, he did take a defense that was historically bad in 2013. A defense that couldn't get out of its way, a defense that couldn't beat a high school team. And methodically, bit by bit, they did keep getting better. You could look and say, maybe we just didn't have the right horses to run the race, and maybe we could have kept Rod Marnelli, but instead, you've changed what you're doing. You have an aggressive defense as opposed to a bend, don't break in philosophy. You have a bigger, meaner defensive line as opposed to a bunch of guys that can run circles around people. You have changed what you're doing. Now, my defense, unfortunately, my black sheep, I can't really look and say that they were the third coming of the doomsday defense. They weren't. They played good at times. But overall, when you guaranteed to need a stop, we just couldn't get it. Teams could just run right up the gut on us. It just wasn't good. But I think we've improved that. We've evolved that. And I look back and I say, I think that this defense is going to be better than we had last year. My offense, I look at and say, I think that they're at least as talented, and I think the fact of keeping Kellen Moore with a Mike McCarthy is an improvement. So I can at least say we'll hold serve. Where we were number-wise, it's hard to keep those numbers up all the time. So you could see maybe even a little regression or maybe a learning curve because of a shortened offseason. I look at my special teams. We got a real special teams coach out there. And we don't have the worst kicker in football for the first 11 games. I looked at our special teams as improvement because they ain't got nowhere to go but up. So if we were 8-8 last year and we had so many games that were so close, and we improve on our defense and improve on our special teams, I don't know how you can say 8-8. I just don't. But then again, it's football. We have teams that you look at and say, that team is going to be a juggernaut for years to come. And then they fall flat on their face, fire a coach, and start the rebuilding process in 2 years. It's just the way it is with football. And that's one of the reasons why we all tune in and love football so much. So I'm excited today. I got to go get my walk in before it gets hot. It's going to be like 98 degrees, and we got 13,600 steps we need to get in. And I'm kind of mad because I realized late last night I had 19,000 steps, and it was like 11:30. And I was like, man, I need to go ahead and I want to get to 20. And, I kind of waited, and I waited, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this 20. And so I'm out there walking, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like 5 minutes up, and I got 300 steps to go. And I kept working it. I ended up with 19,972. Missed it by 28 freaking steps. Man, I was mad. I was mad. I was mad that I was that close to 20,000 steps. And here's the final thought on this thing. In life, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. If you want to do something, if you work hard enough at it, you will find a way to succeed. Because the only people that fail are the people who give up. I've got a screwed up ass knee. I literally am living on borrowed time where they're trying to get me to 60 for a knee joint replacement. But I've been working it, doing everything I can, stretching, exercising, and trying to get it together. And I walked almost 10 miles yesterday. 10 miles on a knee that's bone on bone. So don't ever tell me that people are against you or people are holding you down. If you want to succeed, you got to put in the work. And that's how I feel about my Dallas Cowboys. If you guys want to be Super Bowl champions, you got to put in the work. You got to think. You got to be smart. And you got to take care of business. And that's what I'm going to go do right now. And I appreciate all you guys being here. And I'm just so happy that after seeming like the longest off season of forever, with no OTAs, no team workouts, nothing for so long, we finally actually have a chance to talk about players actually getting together for a season. Boy, whoo! I'm excited about that. I'm so excited that I could almost pour myself a drink this morning, but not at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm Mark Holmes, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll see you soon.